Hey everybody, it's John with JFisco Games. Thanks for joining me on my first Let's Play. We're going to be running through Transistor today from SuperGiant Games. They are also the makers of Bastion, if you're familiar with that title. Bastion was probably one of my favorite games, I believe 2 years ago when it came out. Sort of a fantasy action RPG type game, beautiful art style, all by SuperGiant's artist Jen. She's absolutely amazing, as you can see by this art here. Bastion was much more of a fantasy game, set in a fantasy world, at least, stuff like scumbags, using a lot of melee weapons, some guns and bows and stuff like that, but had much more of a fantasy feel to it. And from the looks of it, Transistor is much more of a sci-fi, futuristic, clean, metropolitan type game. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Hey, Red. We're not gonna get away with this, are we?
So the sword is talking. It's always good. It's a good start.
Come on, pull.
Oh. Okay then.
There. Together again.
Alright.
Sort of. Can't feel a thing.
So right from the start, it looks like they're giving you a couple of abilities to work with. Very basic. Sort of, this actually feels a lot like Bastion right now. You can run around, you can attack with a couple of different weapons. Circle sort of charges up an attack, gives you a heavy attack. X gives you a nice little quick one. And yeah. Absolutely, right off the bat, just an absolutely beautiful game.
Don't think I can swim.
And the sword is still talking to me, so that's kind of creepy.
Yikes. Found us
Alright.
already. They want you back, I bet.
Okay, so it looks like we got an enemy here. And alright. Great. So yeah, right now,
Nice. Okay,
if you know anything about Transistor,
One more deli, east of the bay.
you'll know that the combat's a little bit different than Bastion. Right now it's not really showing that off, but yeah, let's just keep going, see what
More of these
happens.
creeps. Look, don't fret, just
Okay, so turn initiated, and this is the part of Transistor that kind of makes it different than most other games. So you see how I'm moving around here. The game world is kind of frozen, and it lets me plan out my attacks, similar to the way, if you think of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic did, where you could pause the game, have your whole team, or in this case just Red, plan out your attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and plant a breach here, which you'll see will hit 2. And then I go ahead and execute that. Bam, bam. And then what it doesn't tell me is that I'm going to have to run away from these guys, which would have been nice to know.
ready.
So now my turn is back up. I can just use up all my crashes and just kill this guy. And it just goes off like that consecutively. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Alright, so 1 left. Oh, come on. And we'll end him with a breach just because that move looks pretty cool. Bam! Alright. So first big fight done.
We're clear.
Kind of gives you an idea of how the battle system works in Transistor. Kind of a mix between action RPGs and real-time strategy.
Hello, world.
Again, the art style.
Look at all that.
I mean,
We're on the edge of town, 100 blocks away.
everything looks like a comic book mixed with a video game. It's just the shading, the colors, everything about
There's
this.
the empty set. Still too close to it. We better get as far from there as possible.
Just a really beautiful game. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on subtitles because I realize I'm going to be talking over these guys a little bit. Go ahead and turn that on. And we'll go ahead and head to the promenade.
Come on.
A very minor thing, but I love the way this game does subtitles. I think that's
Here we
really
go.
just awesome. So if I hold circle, as it's showing me, I can aim it, kind of hit all 4 guys at once. I should be able to do that twice, and go ahead and be done with them in 2 shots. Bam.
Get out of here.
So that's kind of the
We're good.
best case scenario is that you can go ahead and use your moves and kill everything in a shot.
She awake? Hi. You okay?
Floating cube that our sword is talking to, that's great.
I see. Sure.
Apparently he can understand it.
She wants to come along. We can use her.
Also, if you did play Bastion,
Intersection.
so I got a new move here, a little grenade shot it looks like, pretty cool. If you played Bastion, you'll realize the voice of the Transistor of the sword is the same voice as one of the main characters of Bastion. So,
Wish it was raining. Cover your tracks.
tomorrow's another day in Cloudbank. How would you like it? Which climate is more to your liking?
Rain's not even on the ballot.
I'm more of a mild, scattered clouds type of person.
Scattered clouds trailing this time.
Apparently, more people prefer light breezes. I don't know if that's hooked up
Where were
to
we?
what other people voted, but that'd be pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and use my spark move here against these guys. See if I can take some of them out. Bam. Awesome. And just finish them off with a quick chop. And bam.
No problem.
So I'm unlocking a bunch of stuff. I don't know what... Oh, okay, we're just getting experience.
Let's see.
Sort of leveling up as we go. I should be able to... Oh, I guess I could just walk around them. But you can break through those. Kind of makes it so that there's nowhere to hide.
Into the plaza. It's you.
It's me. Oh. Well, that's awkward.
I'm so sorry, Red. They took your voice. I couldn't stop them. Well, we took something of theirs.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Hey, let's just go. Come on, just go.
Wonder if I could just stand here for an hour and he'll just... Yep.
Just... Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
Well then. See if I can get 2 of these on him. Oh. Okay. So the young lady... go ahead. Just a second. A bit of a transporter, it looks like. So you can really only get one good shot and you gotta kind of make it count.
Finally. Oh.
And, oh, okay. So if you don't pick up the cells... Oh, you can undo actions. That's fun. If you don't pick up the cells right away, they turn into these little process guys. Not sure if that's the same with every character, or if that's just the sort of boss or more powerful characters like the young lady, who was pretty terrifying. Pretty easy to beat, though. Nothing too difficult right now. Oh. Can I get in? There we go. Look at that. That's the kind of cool thing about Transistor, is that you're able to plan out your attacks, and by doing so, and by being able to undo your moves, you can really mess around with it for way longer than I have patience for personally, but you can really plan out the perfect attack and make every battle just a simple 1, 2, 3 sort of fight, if you're that good. I am much more the brute force type person. So. Go ahead and keep moving forward, and I'm going to keep saying this, and it's probably going to get very old, but the color and the art in this game is just amazing. Look at that. The building's all green, this gold little arrow, it's like a speed boost, but yeah, everything about this game is just gorgeous. So, little puzzle here. Obviously, if I plan out my attacks just right, because you kind of slow down time when you do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of had the same reaction.
Hey, Mr. Moyle. You in there? It's him, all right, but I can barely hear him.
So I've got Jaunt now. Oh, okay, so like sort of a dodge move, you know.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. Cool idea that you're sort of picking up, I guess, the souls of whoever these people are, and using their souls kind of gets you some new powers. So basically you're Shang Tsung at the end of the day.
Oh no.
This guy looks happy.
Cut off our escape.
Oh boy. Alright, so we'll go ahead and See if I can get in a couple of good backstabs. Just sort of run away from him. It looks like the jaunt move is the only move you can use when it's not your turn, which is obviously pretty smart. Don't want to be unable to dodge when you're worried about dying. So I got this little guy left, no one too difficult. We'll just crash the hell out of him. Probably didn't have to do it that additional time, but hey. Level 2 achieved. Okay, so this looks like the upgrade sort of section. And different moves that affect your, or I guess different attributes that affect your moves. So I have a bounce, which is a chain reactive, deflecting. Discharge a ricocheting bolt that jumps from target to target. Or I can conceal the user's physical self, amplifying the next action taken. Okay, so kind of a more stealth approach, or just a more crazy approach. Obviously, we're going to go with the bounce, because that just sounds like
we're still here.
A great time.
Look at that.
So we'll go ahead and use this access point.
You're in.
Alright, and this is kind of how we use this move. So, select a function, and choose a function to upgrade. Okay, so I'm going to apply this sort of bounce move. Oh, okay. And if you see there at the bottom where it has the name plus bounce, it's almost like a weird sort of quasi-programming language where you're adding this bounce attribute and it does different things. So my jaunt will gain a faster cooldown, but the transport of the user will be a shorter distance. My spark will ricochet, my breach will chain to multiple nearby targets, my crash will chain. So breach has kind of been sort of a badass move that I've been using, so I'm going to go ahead and install my bounce on that. And we'll go ahead and keep going.
Good. Just one more block. I want to show you
Do
something.
you? Like a talking sword?
Okay, there's a... Wait. Back.
Alright. So this guy looks like he got a little bit upgraded, yep. He's a jerk. Level 2. Yep. He's got retaliation mode, that's great. If you see here, it's kind of... My breach is attacking other enemies nearby. It's using that bounce move, that's pretty cool. So far, I gotta say the combat is super easy. Not in the sense that it's mind-numbingly easy, at least I know, obviously this is right off to the start, so I'm not expecting anything super intense right away, but it definitely does feel like... I guess the easiest way to say it is that I'm not really having to try very hard. That's kind of obvious right off the bat. I mean, I'm 10 minutes in, so it would be weird if they threw something really difficult at me. But I can definitely see this combat system getting ridiculously intense as the game goes on. When they start throwing more enemies at you and giving you more moves to deal with or more abilities to juggle, and you know, it's kind of like Diablo 3 in the way that you have to pick.
That's our way out.
Okay, so this is just gorgeous. This is insanely gorgeous. Kind of like Diablo 3 in that you have 4 moves. I don't think that's going to expand at any point in time, so you kind of have to pick and choose as you get new abilities, which is cool.
E64.
And I got a trophy. Look at that.
5 blocks
Great
down.
job.
Take the second right. Do not turn left. And thanks for the lift.
So we're going to go ahead and take a little motorcycle ride. Again, just look at that. Like the outline of her, the yellow accents. I sound like a weird art history major, and I'm really not at all, but just look at that gorgeousness.
We're going back there. You meant these things. They do not have a sense of humor.
Yep, kinda noticed.
They will track you down, wipe you out, and take whatever's left of me back to those 2-bit Camerata.
Whatever's left of you would be a sword. You are a sword. A talking sword.
Whatever you're thinking. Do me a favor. Don't let me go.
I wouldn't, because then I wouldn't be able to defend myself. I'm not necessarily sure what type of relationship is going on here between the Transistor and Red, but on a personal note, I would prefer to keep the sword with me, because it's kind of coming in handy with all of these white doobly-doos running around attacking stuff, so...
Poor bike. Just 10 more blocks to the
Apparently
side.
Red is not a good driver. The process took her voice as well as her sense of direction.
They beat us here.
Alright. It's kind of cool when they have new enemies like that. They pop it up and kind of give you an idea of who it is you're fighting and what it is that they can do. So those cutting beams are not very nice. And you can see here, around here, I'll move around a little bit so you can see the bad cells. I have a feeling when those things break, they will... okay, so protected against backstab. Great. Protected. Huh. I don't know.
Hit it. Maybe not.
So I opened up some of those bad cells, and the other creeps are going ahead and going to open up the cells themselves, which is pretty cool, trying to mess me up good. Kind of a cool idea that in a perfect world, you know, none of this would... no, it's terrible. Well, in a perfect world, you could probably get by on some of these fights without having to deal with any bad cells, and that's pretty cool. That it's sort of a skill-based system. And I felt that way about Bastion too. Bastion was much more action-heavy in terms that it was live. There was no pausing of the action. It was much more action RPG-like, but I did feel like there was a lot of skill needed for Bastion. It wasn't, you couldn't just smash the buttons and get through it. And Transistor is definitely the same way. You can't just use the same move over and over and think that that's gonna do stuff. I like these little glowy... I don't know what they are.
Not a soul. Hardly recognize this place without the foot traffic.
And if there's one thing that SuperGiant Games does, I would say, even though it sounds like a hyperbole, I would definitely say better than most, if not all, gaming companies, big, small, independent, whatever. SuperGiant Games has a knack for building amazing worlds that have just small details, like having that bar there, and they're saying the lack of foot traffic makes it hard to notice. That sort of stuff is very indicative of SuperGiant's style, and it's what made me fall in love with SuperGiant Games. Hungry? Grab a bite. Satisfy your craving with a complimentary Junction Jan's gourmet flatbread.
Sea monster's really the only choice here.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna just... okay.
Yes. Just have to get back to your place before it gets cold. They're hungry too.
Ha ha ha. They are hungry too, he says. Just go ahead and 1, 2, 3. Pick up these guys before anything bad happens. Oh, and we got a creeper. Or creep. I always enjoyed the naming conventions that SuperGiant goes with in their games. In Bastion they had scumbags, which were just great characters. Hilarious in their look and their name, but also they kind of had a sad story. And who knows, maybe Transistor is the same. Maybe some of these creeps aren't that bad. They're just trying to get on with their life and eat their sea monsters, and I'm murdering them all.
Fertile ground.
Not really sure if this is useful at all, besides being pretty, but it's kind of cool.
Never seen Goldwalk cleared out.
We got another access point here. So, inspect function.
You got on the camera on a short list. More than just a name to them now.
Oh, interesting. So you kind of get a little background here. 27-year-old female. Her selections are music and linguistics, although I doubt that very much now. Reasons cited declined. Trace status intact, whatever that means. Install and use the function in upgrade slot to learn more. Okay. Okay. So I was a great musician of sorts. Mm-hmm. Oh. Never wrote my music. Whatever that means.
You've reached the hopefully not permanent address of Mr. Nobody.
Har har har.
Lillian Platt used to run the OVC. Said she left for personal
This
reasons.
is kind of cool. So, each person you pick up that becomes a function, or an upgrade of sorts, you can see their background, their name, age, what they were good at, all that sort of stuff. And it's cool. I typically...
Guess he went out joyriding one night and never came back.
Okay. I guess that was his motorcycle we took. I typically don't jump into this much backstory in games. Games like Mass Effect that have giant codex and stuff like that. Not my thing.
It's Nyla. Everybody said she split after Goldwalk Channel opened up.
Kind of getting the idea that there are a lot of people here that are well known, and a lot of them are dead. And now they are part of my sword. So I have no idea what's going on. And there's Goldwalk. That's where Nyla's from. We should obviously go in here, right?
No queue to get in. That's a first.
Sense of humor.
This can't be the chief.
Always enjoyable when it comes to Supergiant Games. So we're going to go ahead and use some area of attack moves here. Clear out this room as best we can. Now these cells kind of... Oh boy. Did not see him here. The cells you kind of, as you saw... Ugh. It's terrible. If you don't grab the cells in a certain amount of time, you are kind of screwed. So, yeah, basically not grabbing the cells causes them to turn into new baddies. I don't think that's where this jerk came from, and it's kind of not that hard, so...
Do your worst, pal.
I'm kind of getting ready for the craziness that will happen, I'm sure. That was terrible. Why didn't I just go this way? Craziness that'll happen when a real boss fight takes place, which I'm sure will be just a dandy time in this game. So these guys don't seem to really move much.
Okay, it's all.
I can run over here, kill that guy, and see if I can... see if this works. Boom, boom, and... bam! Look at that. So... don't want that to respawn.
All quiet.
Alright, I'm level 3 achieved.
What do you see?
Okay, so another 2 moves we can go for. Explosive area effect. This already sounds like something I'm going to enjoy. Form a volatile packet. Strike packet to produce a large blast. I don't know what that means. Hypnotic double crossing. Okay. This is actually a pretty cool move. I like the explosion one, but the idea that you can sort of mess with your enemies and have them fight each other, I'm very into that. And I also like the idea that you can only do upgrades at certain points. It stops me from pausing the game every 5 seconds to mess with these. So let's go ahead and actually, do we know who this came from?
Nobody changed the sky like Yondale. Why her?
Okay, another person. Meteorology and chemistry. There's 26. These are a lot of young people. Like, I can't imagine being a pretty famous meteorologist or a chemist at 26 years old, but sure. Whatever. And we will use this on our crash so that we kind of have a good targeting system for when we want to use it on somebody. It sounds like a smart idea. I don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever.
They're saying everyone up and left.
More questions than answers following the evacuation of the popular Cloudbank district. Cloudbank, the city we're in. Northwest quadrant of Cloudbank remains offline, pending investigation. The OPI. Oh, I see. I'm not going to read this, because apparently I can't read today, so... not out loud, at least. I'm going to go ahead and comment. Don't believe a word of this nonsense.
Yeah, I'll say.
Don't count on Goldwalk opening up anything anytime soon. R. Great. Let's leave responses so they know exactly where you are so they can find you easier. Great.
Jerk was hiding in here.
Oh,
Whatever here is.
that's good to know. Thought that was a door. That's fun to do, huh? So, about leaving. Uh-huh. Oh.
Out of the channel in record time.
I don't know what that means. A lot of inside jokes going on
8
over here.
blocks off. Almost there.
Thought we were 8 blocks off before. Okay. I don't know if that's also... Yeah, that is saving the game, so... Even if you can't upgrade, use your access points.
Trouble.
What?
Popping up like weeds.
So we're going to go ahead and use that and switch him. See if that does some good. Look at that.
Good to go.
He's my friend. We'll go ahead and reach him, blow that bad boy up. Okay, so not a huge length of time on that switch, but it is nice, so go ahead and kill your friend. Kill him. Yeah. Okay, so this is not good. These weeds also heal, which is not great. I had no idea. We'll go ahead and kill them. That seems important. And we'll jaunt out of here. Kind of losing half my health here. Not paying attention. Let's see if I can maybe get behind them. Yeah. That should be game over. Or almost. Fuck.
You still hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, here we go. Okay, so first near-death experience. Not bad. What, about 10, 15 minutes into the game?
Just passing through.
Healing enemies is never fun. Take out the weeds first, guys. Go ahead and save. Passed through.
Get ready to get jumped.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks.
Or not.
Oh, you know,
Let's not stick around.
you can't go get me all excited about getting jumped.
Wish we could just sit and watch the world go
I do
by.
too, because this game is beautiful. It's so pretty. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay,
Got some
so...
kind of cheerleader this time.
Cheerleader. So apparently the Transistor is just gonna go ahead and create the names of all the characters for us as he sees fit, which is great.
All set.
Great. Okay, so can I hit him from here? There we go. Oh, and you can kind of aim all your moves, which is nice. Like that. That's pretty cool. So the cheerleader is sort of messing stuff up. Although I don't know where he is. Oh, okay. That was weird. I couldn't see the cheerleader. It was odd. Not really doing a whole lot of damage. These creeps are tough. Just get out of here. Cool little jaunt right after. And he'll probably be coming up here to attack.
Who's left?
Who's left indeed. And we'll just finish him off with a couple breaches. And we are good.
I guess we're done here.
So, yeah, so far I really like the combat system. I think it's cool how they kind of have these sectioned off battles where it's almost like an RPG. You know, you have the set number of enemies you have to get rid of. but at the same time it feels very
Hope you're wearing comfortable shoes.
sort of freely going. You can go where you want to as long as it's within the path that they give you. So, you know, not at all an open world game, but there's exploring to be done. From everything that I have read and watched of the SuperGiant guys, they really are a great team of old school gamers. They really know what gamers like, and this game definitely comes across that way. So far, I am really loving it. Another dead body.
Where'd everybody go? Well, we're gonna get you out of here. He says the process wiped him out.
Yep.
He's too far gone.
Okay, so no power from him because he's dead.
They know we're here. This lady again.
Is this young lady number 2? Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Actually, let's do that and let's switch the cheerleader. Let's see what that does. Okay.
She brought help.
So look at that. Look at that.
Set.
See if I can sort of hit the young lady through the wall here. I'm pretty sure I can. Bam. Yep. So the young lady's got these weird little ghost shadow things. I don't really know. And they seem pretty bad. But honestly, so far, especially after those early battles where I was kind of dying really early on, I think the biggest lesson you can learn quickly in Transistor is to take every battle slowly. I think something about the battle system makes you want to just run in and kill everything as quickly as you can and do these really cool moves where everything's getting blasted to hell. But honestly, if you can pause, try and plan out your moves, and also, like you can see here, try and plan out your moves so that I guess nothing is being wasted. You don't want to waste half your move or half your slowdown time, so to speak, kind of just sort of running around hoping that something is nearby you. It's better to wait till the last second, hit that right trigger, and get yourself going the way it should be. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill this little cheerleader here, kill the young lady. Almost done.
Go for it.
I'm working on it. So the fact that even moving around, she's not teleporting as much as her little friend did before. The fact that moving around costs some of your, I guess, your resource, whatever that is, your slowdown time, your bullet time, so to speak, it really makes you think about each move. You gotta know if running over here, maybe teleporting first or jaunting before you, does that work? No? Okay. I just wanna... No. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, but like I was trying to say, you really want to realize if you don't have to activate bullet time and you can get close to an enemy, that means you'll have more moves available, but then it's also the chance that you're going to take more damage. So, holy crap, okay, not good. So these are level 2, I guess, bad cells. Cool that the enemies upgrade, I like that a lot, I think that's awesome. Let's see if I can reach this guy, and that should end it. Oh, nope. That's the other thing I've noticed after a couple of the first fights is that there are definitely times where you plan out a move and either because of a previous movie did, or because the guys are moving around, your attack that you think is going to hit 4 guys only hits 3, and then you have to use another turn. I kind of like that. It'd be weird if it was all super pre-calculated, so I don't mind that, but it's just something to take into account. Uninstall functions, why would I want to do that? I'm using everything pretty well, I think. I guess you can kind of use some of these guys. Okay, maybe we'll use this one. How about that? Split and subdivide most functions for greater results. Alright, so how about we do this? We will take this guy and we'll use bounce. Which is...
Looks promising. Maybe not for me.
Oh. Interesting. So it ricochets off and splits up. But it also kind of keeps me grounded for a second, so I can't really move. Which in a game like this could be a problem, but we'll see.
Let's have a look downstairs.
I don't want to go downstairs. I just want to save. I guess there's nowhere to go. Okay, I'll go downstairs.
Gotta be a leader somewhere.
Alright, one more terminal.
Pole's a little out of date.
Okay, it's down to the final round. Next month's headliner at the #1 venue in Coburg. Red versus Downtown's hottest facsimile. Obviously it's red. Come on.
Yeah, if only.
Seems a little ridiculous.
Let's get back to it.
Okay, so I just realized this. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for my first ever Let's Play. This will be episode 1. Just a cool little feature. If you're playing this on the PS4, which I am, your controller lights up every time Transistor talks. Like, it kind of flashes the way he does. And that stuff's cool. That's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here for today. I will have part 2 up probably in a couple of days or so, depending on how long it takes to edit. But thank you very much for watching my first ever Let's Play of Transistor. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for episode 2. Cheers.